So, is my screen visible to you? Let me ask this question first because I'm not sure. Is the screen visible?
Oh,
Okay, fine. So, uh, suicide basically means when when somebody ends the life that has been, given to us by the nature. In case we are not happy because of certain thing, or we are in lot of debts, or because of emotional states, that is called suicide. But when farmers, they commit suicide, they have lot of misery that they have undergone already, and they don't want to see it further, so they end their life. It's a very sad situation. And as per the National Crime Record Bureau of India, around 13,000 farmers, they have committed suicide in the year 2012. Okay, 2012 में उसके बाद then there was 11,700, then 12,000, then um, 12,600 to, so called, see the graph they are showing, the year 2016 is a date, is provisional data, but then the number of suicide cases, they have dropped a little bit, not much, but then they are still a matter of concern. They are not totally zero, so we have to go to that figure where we can, we can proudly say that no farmer is now in debt and he's ending his life out of distress. Now, if you have to look at the state wise tally, you can see Maharashtra is on the top, and then comes Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, and Haryana. So Punjab and Haryana farmers, they are very less as compared to Maharashtra. So we'll also talk about why Maharashtra tops the suicide list. Why is it that? As you saw just now before the break, I showed you the video. They were showing the contract farming, and they were from the Dhule district. You must have seen that they have just entered. Contract farming is a new thing for them, and only for few selected crops, not for every other thing. And in the rest of their land, they grow whatever they want to. And also, you must have seen that it is not very very good situation in Maharashtra, because contract farming has actually now become very common in other states, where people, they come and take your goods that are produced. And also Maharashtra ka soil is not so, it's actually very rich, but the crops के हिसाब से you have to work on it, because if you are going to give them crop which is not good for their soil, then you won't be able to get a good harvest, right? Now, since various because this is a major concern, suicide is not a small thing, so इसके uh, benefit, what has happened, activists and scholars, they have given lot of conflicting reasons for the farmers suicides. Sometimes they blame it on monsoon, sometimes they blame it on high debt burdens, sometimes genetically modified crops are to be bt crops, gm crops, okay, they are blamed for that reason. And sometimes they blame government policies कि उनकी वजह से ऐसे हुआ. Sometimes they also blame it on public mental health, and sometimes family issues are also there when farmers, they commit suicide. It is not necessarily that he has committed suicide because his crop has not done well, maybe other reasons. So in uh, 200 uh, to 2012, you know 3661, which is the figure you can see here on the right hand side, where Maharashtra is on the top. you know these many farmers, they committed suicide, which is about a quarter of all the, if you have to look at it in a pie chart view, I can make it for you. So this is a circle, and उसमें से वन क्वार्टर इज महाराष्ट्र के है. You can imagine how big it is, right? And iska 2000 is from Karnataka, and this is rest of India. बाकी छोटे छोटे states हैं, मध्य प्रदेश, इन सबको combine कर लो, so this combined is other. So you can see महाराष्ट्र का सबसे ज़्यादा है and then कर्नाटका का है. Alright, so अभी in Bihar, आप you cannot see the list name of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh here. Two large states of India by size and population, but they have 10 times lower suicide rates as compared to Maharashtra, Kerala, and there were 745 farmer suicides in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, now according to some studies, 2005 से लेकर 2009 के बीच में Gujarat had 385 suicide, Kerala had 900, Punjab had 75, so on and so forth. Now, according to the latest statistic, which we get from the National Crime Record Bureau, the farmers' suicides are this I have already shown you. Now, उसमें Goa, Chhattisgarh, Jammu Kashmir, Mizoram, they all have very small figure like 1, 4, 10, 12. So you can compare what is the situation in why Maharashtra and Karnataka are having this, and even Madhya Pradesh. What is the reason for that? So we have to really, when you understand the reason, you can do work on that. Na? So let's go to the next slide and find out what are the reason for their suicides. Now, also you see from 2014, 15 and 16 in various states, whether they have increased or decreased. So yellow is for 2014, orange is for 2015, and the red color is for the 2016. Okay, so number of cases, as if you see by this picture, it has decreased in various states. Only if you leave Karnataka, and only Karnataka mein it has increased. 760 says 1569 and then 2079. In all the other states, Madhya Pradesh mein hai increase hai, but then it is not much. Telangana mein it has reduced, Tamil Nadu mein it has reduced. You can see na, yahan pe dekho, here you see my pen, this figure has reduced. इसमें marginal change increase है, but this is reduced. इसमें Karnataka में increase, much increase. Here it has reduced. Maharashtra it has reduced. Chhattisgarh it has reduced. So you have to understand कि some places it has been taken care, some places it has increased. What could be the reason? Now, causes of farmers' suicide. See, one reason is very obvious. Everybody, even right from prehistoric time we have been seeing that droughts होते हैं ना, सूखा पड़ जाना. That is one of the reason. ठीक है? Not only droughts, sometimes droughts and floods, they are taken together. Okay, sometimes droughts, sometimes floods. So 80% of India's farmland relies on flooding during the monsoon season. Now, inadequate rainfall, which is drought, can cause the crop failure. Okay, which is very, very common. In regions that have experienced drought, crops yield declines. You don't get a better yield, and when you don't get a better deal, you won't be able to sell it. When you don't sell it, you don't have it, there is a debt that is increased on the head of the farmer. He thinks what he is going to do in the later part of the year. His crop has failed, so he relies mostly on the rains. If it is not properly rained in that year, the farmer already starts worrying because he knows that he's going to face a lot of issues in the coming year. Okay, now and subsequently what happens, when they are not in a state to take stock of the situation, they know that they won't be able to survive this long turmoil of no food, not able to live their life. They have so many, they have family members to feed on. So that all those things they play on their mind, and they take that harsh step, extreme step of ending their life. This is one of the reason. Drought, I can even sometime this also can, as much as drought they affect, sometime floods they also affect the crops, because unnecessary floods they also destroy the crop, and sometime hailstorm and other things are also the reason for that. ठीक है, ये added नहीं है, but they also become, this first point is basically the nature, how it plays. Now apart from nature, the second point is new economic policy. So there are certain economists who believe that changes in the macroeconomic policies of the Indian government that has actually favored privatization, liberalization, globalization, that is the root cause of the farmers' suicide. So they believe, and there are economists like Utsa Patnaik, Jayanti Ghosh, Prabhat Patnaik, they all suggest that because of the new economic policy which has actually liberalized the market and all, globalization, they are to be blamed. So this, there has to be some study done in. Now third point which actually suggests that why farmer commit suicides is GM crops. GM crops are genetically modified crops, and most of the farmers, when they try to grow these types of crop, I don't know why this link has come up, because genetically modified crops, they are actually better, they are better than the original crops, because they can withstand flood, certain dry period, they can also withstand pesticides, they can also withstand insects, they can also extreme weather conditions, so they have to be better. But then I don't know why these things have been linked together, that the increase in the use of GM crops is proportionate to the number of farmers suicide. Okay. BT cotton crop, अच्छा इसका एक आपको मैं ग्राफ दिखाऊंगी in the coming slide, that BT cotton, that is Bacillus thuringiensis cotton, that's a genetically modified cotton. It actually it is claimed that after farmers have started using this GM crop, there had been an increase in the number of cases in farmers suicide. Now the BT cotton seeds cost nearly twice as the original price of the cotton crop. So जब प्राइस ही आपका इनिशियल ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, कॉस्ट ऑफ plantation ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, so definitely your profit is going to be lower. They are 2 times costlier than the ordinary ones. So higher cost basically, the farmers, they may have to take extra loan for that, so that they in anticipation that their crop will be better than the ordinary ones, they take those loan, and but the result is not so great. So that could be one of the reason. Often the private money lenders, they charge exorbitant interest rates sometime, that is also one of the reason. Then money lender, they, as you saw the video, if the crop is not up to the mark, they don't take it, they only take the best thing for their work, and the rest of the nuksan, that loss is on the head of the farmer. So must be with the genetically modified crop, this must have happened. Maybe farmers were not aware how to grow this, but then once they grew, they did not take it, so that could have led to this led to the cause of suicides in farmers. Okay, because maybe इसकी वजह से there is a debt and economic stress that they have to go through, है ना. Now fourth point, this is what I wanted to show you. Farmers का जैसे BT crop जैसे उन्होंने किया ना, this is one of the studies they have, that's why they had tried to link it. पहले ordinary जो this blue color is farmers suicide. Blue color wala, it is farmers suicide, and this is बीटी क्रॉप. सो जैसे जैसे 91 97 से इन्होंने बीटी क्रॉप किया, शुरू में फार्मर सुसाइड का इतना, ये देखो नीचे ही जा रहा है. देन उसके बाद सडनली 98 के बाद, यानी कि यहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ, तो 98 में ही उन्होंने सेल करने की कोशिश की होगी. बट देखो 98 में सडन राइज, देन it was okay for 1 year, again rise, but then in these 2 years there had been a decline. Okay, but again there was a rise here, rise in the suicide, not the BT crop. And then afterwards you can see jab ye BT crop ka they got used to, and then there is a decline also in farmers suicide. So you cannot relate this to genetically modified crop, because in the initial year there must have been some they must not be aware how to go about it. But then later on you see, once they increase the genetically modified crop, only till this year there was an increase in the suicide number here. Uske baad to there had been decrease only, na. So genetically modified crop is uska to hectare per hectare is increased. So we cannot claim it on this, blame it on this actually. Sorry, claim it on this nahi bolna chahiye. Anyways, let's move on to the next point, that is suicide ideation. Now, sometimes the most common suicide for is a combination, not the crop failure. It's a combination of certain family problem, financial difficulties, or pre-existing mental illness, or suicidal ideation is as culturally accepted in southern India as compared to northern India. Okay, the high suicide rate in southern states of India may be in part because of social acceptance of suicide as a method to deal with the difficulties. So in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, maybe it is an ideation, but then this is the point which is given forth by some people, not by me. No society in general, they accept suicide as a normal thing, and it should not happen. Nobody should be forced to such circumstances that he has to end his life. So that means there is something wrong there, and you should not glorify it. Now next is debt burden. The government of Maharashtra, they because the farmers, they must have taken lot of loans, and the government of Maharashtra has actually provided loan on a higher rate. They are not able to, they are under the burden, they are not able to pay it back. So what has happened? Low income, crop failure, many farmers take the loan from private money lenders also, because Maharashtra it is on a higher rate. So from the private money lenders lene ke wajah kya hota hai? They are not able to pay it back once the crop they fail. So due to some debt burden, they don't want to see that, they want to show face to the society. They feel burdened, they feel about their family will be harassed. Okay, but they don't understand, once they are not there, they commit suicide, their family will as it is go through hell, isn't it? So they farmers, they commit suicide, and it's higher input and cost or lower output price. So that means the cost of the seeds, the cost of the fertilizer, the cost of the pesticides, agricultural equipment, they are higher input cost, and the selling price of the crop on the other hand is not as great. So that is one of the reason there is less profit, and this results in the loss of faith in farmers, and then they commit suicide. Next is there may be other reason. Sometime it could be illness, sometime it could be depression, sometime inability to they celebrate or do good weddings in the house, do good marriage, not able to pay the dowries. So these could be some other miscellaneous reasons may you can add to this, because there are reasons. These are also some of the reason why farmers, they know, they take it to their heart. Sometimes, dowry is demanded and they're not able to. Sometimes the girls, they come back because they are tortured in the house and they're not able to. So many factors when they combine together, and they're not able to pay the loans also, the crop fails. So these all things, they combine together and they end their life. So whatsoever is the reason, this is very sad and this should not happen. Now this is one video which I had been thinking I'll show it to you. Let me